It's Friday, November 9th, 2012, and let's talk about what happened this week over at XDADevelopers.com. Strangely enough, most of the news was update related, so let's go ahead and get started with that. Over the last few weeks, we've seen a lot of Jelly Bean leaks coming out for different varieties of the Galaxy S3, specifically the Sprint and T-Mobile varieties. And actually, one of those two was even ported over to the Verizon Galaxy S3, but we had not seen an official Verizon Galaxy S3 leak until now. Now, it is still a leak, so don't consider it anything final, and as with any sort of over-the-air type update, you're going to lose root if you apply it directly. However, XDA forum member Alex Kolodner has taken it and deodexed it and rooted it, and so you can pre-install that instead, and you will have a fully stock Verizon sort of official, we think, over-the-air type update, but it will be pre-rooted and pre-deodexed, and it will have all of the TouchWiz stuff on top of it too. So if you're interested in that, if you have the Verizon Galaxy S3, go ahead and take a look at the forum thread for more details. Speaking of the Galaxy S3 and a lot of other devices, the guys at Team Liquid have been very busy lately, as it seems. They put out release candidate 7 of their AOSP-based ROM for 7 different devices this week. Those devices include both of the Galaxy Nexuses, the Nexus 7, and all of the Samsung Galaxy S3 devices except for the Verizon variant. And honestly, the change list for this is extraordinarily long, so if you want to see what's new and special and unique about this version, go ahead and take a look at the portal post or at the forum thread. You can get all of the details there. Now, moving right along, a lot of the stories we've talked about in the last couple of weeks, actually a couple of months at this point, have been about CyanogenMod 10 and Jelly Bean leaks and Jelly Bean ROMs and everything. And most of the CyanogenMod 10 specific ones have been unofficial ports. And even those, most of those have been about more recent devices. You know, devices that have come out in the last couple of months, maybe even a year. However, as of this week, the Samsung Galaxy GT-I5510 now has an unofficial port of CM10 to it. Now, this is a device that was released in 2010. The specs here say that it has a 600 MHz processor and 512 megs of RAM. So for it to be running a Jelly Bean ROM, definitely impressive. However, again, due to the age of the device, due to the older generation and not having support in binaries and things like that, the list of not workings and partially workings is a little longer than you would probably like to see. In terms of the partially working, you've got the keyboard, because it has a physical keyboard on it. I don't believe that physical keyboard actually works. The camera, the video, and the sensors are all just kind of partially working. The media scanner and the microphone, when the headphones are plugged in, do not work. And video and native device tethering will never work at all. By video, I mean video acceleration. So realistically, not necessarily a deal breaker. I mean, for a device of that age, just to see it running Jelly Bean might be worth giving it a shot. But like I said, there's a lot of definitely will not ever works involved in that, so it's kind of an up in the air. If it's a device that you still have and you're interested in trying it out, head on over again to the forum thread and look for more information. Now, speaking of CM10, I'm running CM10 on my personal device, have been for a little while now, and I've actually been keeping up with the Nightlies, so I saw this before it showed up on XDA. I saw it pop up on Google+. The CyanogenMod team has created their own file manager. And it's definitely not uncommon for them to make their own versions of apps. They've got the Trebuchet launcher, they've got the Apollo music player. So now they've gone ahead and created their own file manager as well. And actually, I see the rationale behind this. I read the post that they made about it, and essentially their point is, when they give you CyanogenMod, they give you the stock Android. Nothing else on top of it. So you don't actually get all of the Google apps, you don't get the Google Play Store or anything. So anything else you put on top of it is third party, technically. So what they're giving you is a more full-featured experience out of the box, so you might not immediately have to have all of those Google apps. So now you've got a music player, you've got a decent launcher, and you've got a decent root file manager. So I can definitely understand it, and I have used it a little bit. It does seem to work pretty well. It's got a very nice theme to it, and it seems to flow pretty nicely. Haven't used it extensively enough to really give a review on it or anything, though. I will say, though, after seeing that pop up on the nightly changelog, it prompts me to want to pay more attention to the nightlies just to see what's coming and what's changing. And actually, speaking of the new things and the next big thing, Android 4.2, again, still not out there. It will be out there eventually, just not out there yet. But in the last video, I talked about a couple of the apps that have been pulled from it and made available. Well, now that the Nexus 4 system dump is available, as I mentioned again in the last video, XDA senior member SharingGan92 has posted basically all of the Google-specific apps for the Android 4.2 release. And just to sort of go over what those are, because I'm not going to memorize these things, you've got Camera, Desk Clock, Chrome, Maps, Street View, Gmail, Play Store, Play Music, Google Talk, and all of the other Google apps and Android system apps. So essentially everything that makes Android 4.2 Android 4.2 without a newer kernel, without newer libraries and things like that, all of the specific core system apps, there you go. Personally, I'm very interested in looking at the newer version of Gmail. I think that's actually been leaked for a while now. I've been looking at the early leaked version of the keyboard and using that. Not really a fan of the leaked version. I will probably go with whatever this newer one provides at some point. And the camera. I've seen so many people posting photospheres on Google+, and it's killing me that I haven't tried it out for myself yet. Anyway, neither here nor there, if you are interested in trying out any of the Android 4.2 apps, head on over to the forum thread, read all about it, and give those a download. And the last thing to mention, TK put out an app review earlier this week. This one was about using Holoweb Browser, which is a kind of a stylish web browser with Flash built in that works on Jelly Bean. If you haven't seen his video yet, definitely go ahead and take a look at that. But that's going to be about all from me for today. Hopefully I'll be able to put out a video on Monday. I'm going to be out of town. I'm actually going to be in Kansas for some work-related stuff, so I'm going to do my best to get a video up. But anyway, if you like this video, hit the like button down below, and do make sure to subscribe if you want to get our content as soon as it becomes available. As always, though, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you hopefully on Monday.